the first like 10 to 15 minutes, then you can really mess up his tempo. Because otherwise, because he always contributes decent to lane, always contributes well to team fights. If you just also put him behind and farm, and then maybe win a fight mid-ish game, like 15, 20 minutes, and I feel like he's kind of out of it. Like you'll always be an item ahead. He'll have BKB, but he actually needs like a butterfly with some armor. So.
Yeah, the
like
solution to that, how the top teams have solved that with gyro is they've had their mid players be able to switch onto the gyrocopter. Yeah. So you need to have, in order to pressure the gyrocopter consistently that way, you need to have 2 dive lanes. Right?
That's why I do like the Juggernaut though versus the gyro, because he's gonna get in your face early on. Like level 7, level 8, he's gonna like phase, drum, call downs, and you can just run in and actually kill him. And it's incredible versus Disruptor. You can always just be able to spin, TP out versus the spin to dodge it too.
Quick stat for you with Navi: have yet to win using gyro. 707.
Really?
So Batrider ban, Shadowfiend ban, and Terrorblade.
Batrider ban versus General. I think that's kind of a staple. That's I think his best hero in my.
Oh, it's his best hero, and it's also he played that hero in a style that's becoming very meta right now, and that's in those aggro duel lanes. General was one of the first players I saw that thought about Batrider not as a dedicated solo offlaner, but as an aggro duel to put pressure on the opponent. I mean, they ran some, what was it? I think they ran like Batrider Witch Doctor lanes for a while. That just disgusting.
I think this time they could be looking for something like that Sand King though, because it's not. If they pick it in the 3rd here for Navi, then it can be that flex pick. Because as we said, LeBron plays it as well as General. So they could use that one.
That's a big hero for both teams, I think.
Yeah. Like I was mentioning, SEA, they absolutely loved the Sand King when we were watching them about a week and a half.
And maybe a little less so for Fnatic, because if you pick it here, that telegraphs that it is going to be a core.
I think more than likely they would want something like that brew.
Dire team pick.
Tidehunter. Okay. Into the Disruptor, I wasn't too certain if they would do it. The Static Storm versus Tide.
I think I like it better than Brew. I think Brew is more vulnerable there, whereas I guess maybe they have similar survivability. I just feel like Tide is tankier. I guess at the very least he'll have damage block. Maybe he gets an anchor smash off ahead of time.
And he goes Hood, right?
Yeah.
True. So he's going to be able to tank versus the Gyro and Disruptor. Maybe survive the combo. Be able to get his ult.
If you look at Navi's ban, they ban Enigma. They're basically trying to prevent the whatever combo they're going to do with Naga Siren, but now they can just do a Ravage.
Yeah.
That alone will be very effective. I think that's why they also banned Batrider. General's good at it, but if you jump in with like Lasso and pull one hero out and you have to Song to defend against that, that's a really good trade for the Batrider team, I feel like. So, but if you're able to offensively Song and do a Ravage to set things up, and you're going to have like Serpent Wards already set up, that sounds a lot more dangerous.
Yeah, and a lot of the, add to that a lot of the classic laning counter the Batrider, you think about the Lifestealer, the Slark, are not heroes that Fnatic. That's a difficult hero for them to deal with.
Liking either Sand King or...
I think Elder Titan is fantastic, although Fnatic, of these two teams, Fnatic are the better with that one.
Yeah, I don't know if Navi really plays it too often.
They wouldn't have enough lockdown, I feel like, if they went ET. It'd be too difficult to just initiate you.
So this is a little unusual. It's very unusual, in fact, in drafting right now to see the 1 and 2 position cores taken in the first 3. But again, I kind of expected Navi to go in a different direction draft-wise in this tournament, and maybe even hide Lil's hero.
Yeah. I like it so far for what Fnatic has. Like lots of damage output, fairly survivable. Fnatic doesn't have a lot of single target damage right now. It's mostly just AoE and disable. So even if Exorcism is off, and then she'll still be effective. If she's not the one that's shackled, throwing a silence on either Naga or Shadow Shaman is hugely problematic for both of those heroes. So I think DP is a pretty solid pickup here. We'll see if she gets countered though. That's really the scary thing. Last 2 picks.
About picking a 3rd.
Fnatic could just go some really high damage physical carry. Even something like PA maybe could work.
I don't know. This is a... I don't know that this Navi roster is going to run a lot of heroes. This is a sick Rubik game.
Viper.
Okay.
I think Viper's pretty decent. Personally survivable. Does a lot of damage reflection, can amplify the magic damage that his team does. Ultimate will go through BKB, so it'll be very good against Gyro in a lot of cases, especially early game.
I think this is what we were talking about earlier, Frog, that they're looking at taking away some of Crystallized's hero pool, particularly the PL.
With the Viper pick?
Yeah, Viper pick.
The Nether Toxin You just stand in your pool versus PL and you disable both passive. Yeah.
A lot of people, Maelstrom or something.
Yeah, a lot of people use it in more an aggressive manner, but if you actually just throw it on yourself and the PL runs at you, the PL loses all of his benefits.
Yeah, I felt Moo pointed that out to me like 3 weeks ago, and I felt so silly. I was like, wait a minute, Viper counters PL? No, he doesn't.
You meant the other way, yeah. PL counters Viper, but it actually can go both ways, of course. You know, if PL gets massive, Viper can do.
Yeah, but it's true. You got another toxin yourself, and you got to go. You can't go the early Ags build. You got to go like Maelstrom.
Makes me feel terrible.
Rubik. I just, you know, it's. I don't know. Lil's a good Rubik, not necessarily like elite level, but it's just so good against all 4 Fnatic here.
Rubik Gyro, classic.
Oh yeah.
But it is Rubik Disruptor supports, which I'm not too crazy about.
Yeah, but I mean, DP at least is pretty not too vulnerable in lane.
Neither of those heroes, by the way, played by LeBron.
So he'll play the Disruptor.
He'll play he'll play the
5 as a Disruptor. Right?
Yeah, I think he'll play 5 Disruptor. He'll give farm priority to Rubik here.
And the Rubik synergizes so well with his teammates. Just ample, you can use the aura offensively. It'll increase the damage that DP does in a big way, Gyrocopter in a big way. It's not bad.
Yeah, Gyro for sure. DP really only helps with wave.
And there's not even that much like catch. No, it's Spirit Siphon's also magic, so.
Oh yeah, Spirit Siphon. That's right.
I feel like there's not that much single target kill power on Fnatic. Like, there's not like a carry right now that's going to jump the backline and kill Rubik and Disruptor right now. So maybe Fnatic will want to go that way, but Rubik can definitely help benefit Navi without being too vulnerable.
They banned Brood.
Yeah. I think I was talking about.
Yeah.
Brood ban.
They have shown an Abed Broodmother in the last couple of weeks.
So basically, Navi doesn't want Fnatic to have too much more strong team fight, and I guess both teams looking at it that way, I suppose.
But for general.
Is that Tinker banned, by the way?
No, that's Brood.
Tinker's not banned.
Yeah.
Tinker's still available if Abed wants it.
Okay. So they're going to put that offlane.
Yeah, offlane DK. That's an interesting tricore. And obviously DK very successful in the last couple of games.
I like against Shaman and Naga Siren. I think it's a good way to deal with them.
Viper hurts him a lot mid game.
True.
So it feels like you can pick a lot for Abed here though.
Yep.
It feels like you.
They're gonna put
He can have the Tinker if he wants it.
Could have the Invoker.
Yep.
Tiny's out.
Yeah, Invoker's free, isn't it? TA's free if he wants.
You can pick Sniper.
They need like single target damage. They've almost.
So I was thinking burst from the Abed.
Is OD crazy here?
OD is not crazy here. Oh, they are going to go Tinker.
Yeah,
okay.
That makes sense. Just spam the March during the song. That way when they come out, they're going to take a ton of damage.
I just think it's if Tinker gets pressured at all in lane, I think you're very susceptible to the Navi push. This huge push out of this Navi lineup.
Okay, draft complete time, Nahaz.
Oh boy.
To prove
you're gonna make me go first after all this?
To make sure that you're not the problem, what I'm going to do is start with Fog.
I'm going to go with Fnatic.
Okay.
I like the Tinker pick a lot.
Alright. Nicely rounded out the draft.
Yep, they've got the Shadow Shaman to get their towers, because other than that, they're greatest, but I think the Shadow Shaman plus.
Okay, Fnatic for Fogged.
Yeah, I was going to go Fnatic as well. I do like Navi's draft. It looks very safe, but I think Fnatic has just the right stuff to make the combo work really well.
Oh my god, are we going to do this again? Yeah,
I'm
going to stick with it just because it was what I was ready when you came to me first. I like this Navi draft a little bit better in a vacuum, but I think this Fnatic team is just better right now, so I got to go that direction.
Okay, so all three of you for Fnatic.
Yeah. Please no 0-9. Please.
I mean, that would be if this happens,
I mean, this is what happens when you put 3 men that agree with each other on. They've agreed on all 4 matches so far. They've got 1 out of 3. Can they make it 2 out of 2? Let's find out. Get into the match. One Navi, who else better to bring it to you than Cap and Blip?
That's right, 2 relatively unknown entities here, Fnatic as well as Navi, both experiencing roster changes since their last LAN, means that we're, well, opportunities for both these teams to be able to prove themselves and prove with their new rosters that they are better teams than they were before. And they are here to take Dota scene by storm. Blitz! We don't like these panelists, do we?
Dude, I actually kind of think that...
we're on the Navi train.
Yeah, we're sort of on the Navi train. I think Navi's going to do it.
I mean, it's just an easy to execute lineup with Navi,
Yes.
right? You've got the Dragon Knight push with a Death Prophet behind it and a playmaking gyrocopter fighting core. I mean, this is just like aggressive and pushy and just all up in the face of Fnatic. And Fnatic do have a couple of slow heroes here.
The good side of Fnatic is that their team fight is really good.
Yeah.
Their team fight is sick.
They have like a guaranteed win team fight
Yes.
once every like 2.5 minutes, right?
I think that I'm not sure. I'm trying to envision how these fights go. It depends on how Pi plays this game. I think Pi is going to be the determining factor, whether they win or lose.
Really? Why him?
Because the sleep disengage is so important here. Because if you can do the sleep into, it's like the old TI2 combo, right? The sleep into the Ravage.
Yep.
If you time it very nicely, then there's a lot of potential here.
But you can't beat like BKB.
Yeah.
That was actually the exact problem that who was in that?
Yeah.
They ran into the problem where they thought, because of the Dota 1 mechanics, they thought they could actually get that Ravage combination.
They got
on
bodied
top
by
of
that.
Yeah.
The Chinese were really surprised. I was in that room
they were
at that
like,
time.
wait, we can't combo that? Like,
Yeah.
you can't get a seamless stun?
That's fun history. When you saw them, like, because they were so confident. I
Yeah.
remember I was with, I can't remember which Chinese speaker I was with. I was with somebody, and they were talking to Xiao8 about it. And he's like, yeah, this Naga Tidehunter combo is unbeatable. And at the time, remember, this was when they were all building, like, fun history. But I think this is a winnable draft for Navi.
This bottleneck is getting bodied right now by DJ and Eternal Heavy and denies.
Yeah.
I just watched them get 3 denies in that first wave.
All right, we're changing it up. Again, we're going back to...
Meanwhile, top lane, this has been pulled way, way back.
Dude, Denny's crushing right now.
Zero?
Yeah. Oh my god, he's actually doing so well on this lane.
We should also point out that Dendi was also the drafter
Yeah.
for this game.
He was doing this, he does that annoying ass thing that a lot of mid players do where you like go for it so that nobody gets it, you know?
Yeah. You go
Oh,
for
it
the
makes me
last
so
hit
mad.
Yeah.
Come on, man, let's just trade farm.
Oh, that's my play, you know? As an offlaner, I just want to screw up the carry as much as possible.
Like, Dendi's throwing breathe fires so that Abed has to laser for CS. That was pretty cool, but he's got the first, like, 2-wave advantage. Abed's now starting to catch up.
So we're going to have a Tidehunter Naga Siren duo against General's Death Prophet in the safe lane. He should be able to do pretty well in this, right?
This is the third or fourth time I've seen this, actually. There's like a top 50 ranked NA offlaner that keeps doing this. That I keep mistaking for
side lane Death
Claysurfer.
Prophet?
Yeah.
Oh, I have.
You know who I'm talking about, right? It's like
Yes,
Suns.
I've seen it a couple.
But it was pretty okay. The
Why-
downside is, like, it's not a playmaker.
Why are we having this weird meme where we're having some mid heroes be?
It's all the really tanky ones, like
Right.
DK and stuff.
Yep.
You need heroes that have this self-sustain and that are very nice in that regard, because you can't just put anybody anywhere you feel like. But I mean, I think Dota's so awesome because you get to just do random stuff like that. Like, I hadn't seen DK go any lane but mid in like 4 years, and then all of a sudden, like, I've seen it in side lanes like 4 times this year alone. And same with DP. I would have never thought that she was just gonna turn up as a safe laner, and then EG started doing it.
You know what this whole entire era of Dota has made me think of? It's like those pubs where, like, you get some guy who's just not on the same page and you end up picking like 2 mids or something,
Yeah.
2 offlaners, and then your lanes just look kind of weird. But it ends up working out. You're like, why can't I just do this all the time?
Yes. I mean, that's always been the cool part about competitive Dota.
So why can't we just do safe lane ODs and side lane Dragon Knight?
Just like, why not?
Tidehunter.
I think that's the coolest part, is like, because, you know, if you had asked me years ago if this stuff would happen, I'd tell you there's no way, right? But Dota's a game like where you consistently get your beliefs challenged. Being wrong is my favorite part about being an analyst, because it means that I get to learn something new about the game, and that's hopefully what they're getting out of this too, is competitive player.
Dive coming up here in the top lane. Pyla dies. Going to try and threaten Lil with the double minus armor. Physical damage can do a lot here, but General is not one to be shoved out here. With the Spirit Siphon, he's going to threaten the Tidehunter. Equal amount here, this dual lane. Just doesn't really seem like it's ever going to go that well. for Fnatic. 2 melee, tanky hero pushing into the profit, but at least they're going to be able to get some guaranteed farm for the Tidehunter. And you've repeatedly said to me, Will, that Tidehunter is a hero that needs to be able to give.
I hate this idea that you turn Tidehunter or Enigma into these heroes that are just ulti dependent, because it makes them very worthless in the game. You turn Tidehunter into a hero that's just useful for his mana.
Oh, Eternal Envy, the bottom lane, has a homing missile running after him, and that is going to be enough to secure your first blood for Crystal.
Nahas was the problem. And we both saw this draft, and I think we both agreed. It was like, Navi looks good. It's very stable across the board. Like, there's not any one place where they're particularly weak. I think that Fnatic has the higher team fight potential.
Yeah. So let's not get ahead of ourselves just because we've seen a first blood. We haven't gotten into the major problem of Fnatic's lineup, which is their...
And I think Navi will feel pressure to end the game this game.
And that can lead to a lot of mistakes. Particularly pushing high ground into a Tinker and a Tidehunter. Those heroes are notorious for them.
There's some like weird thing about Tinker. It feels like if you die once, this hero feels so bad.
Oh yeah, you just lose the game.
Yeah, it honestly feels worse than almost any other hero.
It feels like that this hero has like the highest variance late game, and that he can win any game late game.
Yeah.
But he can also lose any game. Because
completely agree.
Off one.
There's this timing too, where after you get like 8th travels, where you're on the road to Aghanim Scepter, and you need to be completely uncontested on that road.
Yeah.
Like you need to get that 4,200 gold straight up.
2-man smoke up here. LeBron and Lil, the 2 newcomers to Navi, forming the support duo. Try and catch Abed from behind. They're in a great position to do so. Dendi already leads with the Dragon Form stun. They should get some pretty nice combination here to bring Abed down.
Nice.
And on top of that, they can try and threaten mid, but Fnatic is forming up a smoke rotation, his root rotation of their own.
This is a level 4 DJ, he's very strong. I would imagine that it'd be a little bit difficult to kill. He is rotating downwards. We'd anticipate and help out Ace, Jay. That's what I mean, he's pinging. They want to try to make a move on this. Paladai is going to swing around in the trees. Viz.
Be able to snag up LeBron. Lil is going to go for the telekinesis. Nice play. Instead of thinking, I'm going to stop DJ Shackle, I'm just going to throw Paladai up on the cliff, and that's going to be a freebie for Navi.
Lil is...
That was quick thinking.
That was very fast. I like that.
Well, just not.
Navi, hot start.
0 right now. How'd you feel about their lineup train? Zaneko leaving, them being able to pick up LeBron, and then obviously the switch out of.
So here's how I feel about this. I think a lot of people think dislike Navi, but I don't think that at all. I just think that they were in a position. They reminded me of like EG last year. You know when they had like Zai and Crit. I don't think that Zaneko and Roger could work. Apparently. Okay. I think it was an issue where you essentially had 2 4-position players. That,
stacking
exactly. You could totally sense that. Like sometimes Zaneko really wanted to be himself, and he just couldn't be. So I felt like they were very limited in that regard. Which is why I called them a mediocre team.
So you think LeBron is a more suitable replacement to that core duo?
Yeah, I think LeBron might be individually worse, but we're being proven like time and time again that that stuff really doesn't matter in Dota. Chemistry angle, letting people play their natural roles, these things matter more and more.
Yeah. I mean, LeBron's a guy who's literally just grinded through team after team and has played those kind of positions. I think if anybody who's going to be sort of appreciative of a support, very sacrificial role, it would be.
That's what I mean. There was this thing about Dota, especially when it comes to like, individual player skill, where you felt like it mattered so much, and teams consistently made changes around that. They were just like, we want to be as high individual skill as possible, but increasingly doesn't matter too much. These things like team chemistry, being a good teammate, having people be motivated to play their roles, like these are the stuff that will matter. As up at top, Fnatic,
Making the rotation here from Eternal Envy with a Gyrocopter. Gonna drop that ultimate. They do manage to finish off the Disruptor with a poison damage, and they're also gonna be able to clear out the Gyrocopter. So they're gonna throw down that Ravage, and manage to catch the Death Prophet with the slower tentacles, and actually manage to get delay stun out here. They've already thrown one stun. They're not gonna be able to stop this double TP that comes out from Fnatic. They will manage to minimize their losses there with a heavy rotation coming out from Navi. So that was kind of perfect. Exorcism is blown. They only get one kill in return. They managed to successfully get a kill on that core Gyrocopter.
And they killed the Disruptor too. Just 2 for 1. You had to blow the Ravage cooldown, but it's whatever.
I mean, yeah, it's the same to Exorcism, right? You can always go 1 for 1 in that regard.
These high ulti cooldowns, you want to use as frequently as possible.
Whoa! DJ. Jace. PHP.
That rocket will get him though.
You stay in base until the rocket hits you.
For sure.
Get
donked.
To walk out.
Come on. It should scale, like, you know, Enchantress's old one. Look at that, he did stay. It honestly did like 4 damage to him.
Pylon die, he's gonna be caught telekinesis into the homing missile here, and he level 4. No escape opportunity. He's gonna try and go for the deny.
Yo, he's got it.
It's gonna be close, but the double stack does not put enough damage out there. Unfortunately, part of the problem is Nagas aren't in their high armor. Meant the physical damage. It's just it.
High dying is something to me. I enjoyed that though. He almost got off the deny. He is instantly alive. It really feels like he did not die there. He was up so fast. What? Am I just delirious? It feels like he was dead for like.
I mean, he's level 4.
I mean, he's only level 4, but still.
The classic off-lane triangle dire off-lane junk. They're kind of dealing with Gyrocopter, which is some of the smaller camps doesn't have the damage to be able to tend to attack.
This is one of the best parts, by the way, of playing DK against this Tinker, is because you have a high amount of regen and armor, so that you can essentially just tank the tower, and you don't really care too much as Lil.
They're going to throw down a counter Viper Strike here, but Lil is going to tank enough that he will fall.
Oh, that was suicidal.
Yeah, I can't believe he telekinesis him forward. I thought he was just going to toss him back, and it's all good.
That was real spiteful.
Yeah.
He's like, I've got you. And Envy was like, that. All right. High in mid. Still only level 4, by the way. We talked about how his level 6 was going to be really important, but...
So, you were saying that Dragonite, good part about it versus Tinker is that you have this constant presence.
Yeah.
You don't have to go back.
It's the same idea of like...
But why doesn't it work the other way? Because the Tinker can always defend towers. Why is it good versus...
It does work both ways.
Okay.
It does work both ways. But the thing about Tinker is that eventually you'll jungle, and it's like DK will get free hits on your tower. It's the same idea though behind what is it? Like the Dusa, DP, all those heroes, like when they mirror against each other, it's because they have a high amount of
DJ does have a shrine. Back Lil sticking around a bit too long again. Lil is his play on Navi so far has been super aggressive. Good.
You think so?
Series against back.
General is... There's been some space creation. But the thing about this is that when you play against Tinker, it's like the space is never wasted.
Yeah.
Right? Like other heroes, you would get punished for making that kind of rotation down. Your offlaner makes a rotation and save his support. But because you have a Tinker on your side, it's the biggest upside of that hero. Highlight Die tries to make his aggressive move forward. But Fnatic are playing very well. I think Envy, he's transitioned more into this, I mean, we've been talking about Navi a lot, but like, Envy has transitioned more into this, less of the, less of that pure 1 position that we saw him on like Secret when they won Shanghai.
I actually really like that. I think it's the same thing. We talk about Demon or Sexy Bambo or, you know, those players that have like really high highs and really low lows.
Yes.
Is that when they're playing more space creating, lower on when it comes to the farm priority, lowered on that chart, it feels better because you can make those kind of plays and be punished left. You know? Like, and so I actually like seeing Eternal Envy. It's Razor with me.
There was a period at the Summit where he was playing phenomenally. The way that he was moving his heroes around, he'd be this like level, he'd be like a level 4 Luna, just like loose and beaming mid for Abed.
Yeah.
That was one of the crazier things I've seen in Dota. Really like though that Envy's sitting mid right now. They need to defend this mid tower.
They knew this side was coming on the side of Fnatic. They tried to position accordingly, but we'll see if they can actually win the fight out here. General's already low, has HP. He needs to be able to get good Spirit Siphons off, and he does get a decent amount. But they're going to be able to turn this around. The Ravage goes down, does catch by, as well as Eternal Envy in the back line. Followed it up with a stun from Dendi, and that will be 2 down from Fnatic. So despite the fact that they knew this dive was going to happen, and they tried to plan around it, they still end up losing the fight.
Can't plan around the fact that Lil timing was going to steal that Ravage. The aggression pays off this time.
Yeah. I think Ravage is actually easier to steal for the Rubik now because when he's farther out,
yes,
the tentacles are so much lower that you can actually snag it before you get stunned.
There's a better timing on that. For sure. He was right on top of that. He understood, he's like, my Death Prophet is 100% going to get ravaged here.
That being said, a lot of this has got to be the failure in teamfights here for Fnatic. It's got to be because of the fact they don't have level 6 Naga. Top lane, General, out
just
a bit too
respawned.
far, ends up getting caught by both the Tidehunter and the Shadow Dropper. He's actually keeping himself alive with the Spirit Side. I thought he was dead for sure.
Abed blinks forward, but...
Oh, he's gonna go for it? He goes for it, of course he does. The balls, just to say, hey, there's nobody from Navi that's gonna come back and help him. I'm gonna dive behind his tier 2 tower, where he could have been completely caught out. But he did have some vision of 2 cores of Navi. Bottom lane, they've got a really good ward spotting out. There's some 2 supports as well. They've just caught Pylai Die within the ultimate. They're gonna try and burst him from afar. It looks like they should be able to do that. They don't want to overextend themselves, though, into a Viper with a Tinker in good positioning here. And that's why Dendi's just going to go for the TP out. All of Navi, in fact, are going to go for mass TPs away. Trying to bend this tier 2 push that was coming out from Shadow Shot.
I like that move from DJ in that time period. He understands like that's not a winnable fight anymore. Go for the split. It was awkward engagement for Navi. You see the downside of playing against this Naga Siren? Like why it's so highly favored? Because there's a Viper right there, but you have to go for the Naga. You have to blow the Disruptor ulti on the Naga. More ideal situations, you just doesn't matter what 4 or 5 positions there. You're gonna get the kill on that Viper with that many ult.
Fnatic are up by 3k gold right now. There is a stack being. A lot of that gold does come down to the fact all of the out on the side. But surely with this aggressive lineup that Navi has, weren't they supposed to have?
I don't think so. Not against the...
No? Okay.
I think getting the mid tower and the bottom tower is the key here. Navi, I think if they take these 2 towers, you'll be pretty happy.
Oh, they've got Ravage back up. They're going to throw it down here to be able to catch the Eternal Envy Viper. Now Pylai Die starts running himself in, threatening the song, and Navi are going to back themselves away.
Lil just pops it. He's about to be...
Look at this. The Troll's going to follow him, so he won't be able to just TP out so easily. He's going to be caught. Lil. Save space for any side of Navi. Kind of farming on the Death Prophet, but... Oh, looks like they might have caught on top lane. Shadow Shaman? Foaming Missile, running him down, and the Glimpse back as well. Oh, Static Storm being dropped. LeBron, he's in serious trouble. The March is not quite enough to be able to finish him off. Let's see if he can juke out DJ here. Throws down the kinetic field to stop.
No, he's going to run into the creeps.
Runs into the creeps. Trying to juke the creeps as well. Deeper into the trees. Crystallize ends up dying to Abed. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they manage to get the stun out to the Naga Siren. Try to pop her as quick as possible. She's down. Move on to the next. Spirit Siphon hoping to be able to grab some of these heroes while LeBron jukes his way through the tree a little bit farther, but DJ finally found him, gets it with a static shot. Looks like General was not enough to be able to slow down these heroes. Now with Abed here, as well as the break, they're going to be able to throw down the Ravage, catching both these cores and see if they can just burst down this Death Prop, but he still had 2 Spirit Siphon stacks, and he's put them both. Eternal Envy still has not been able to break. His slowed down, caught by Dendi, will end up falling. Now Abed is still here with the Tinker, laying down constant damage, but it looks like the sustain here from the Navi cores is going to be enough to keep us alive. But again, DJ keeping up that split push.
I have to watch this again, but I actually think LeBron's move up at top made that okay. Because I bet Tinker just didn't have any mana, so he couldn't continue to spam.
Yeah.
Wow.
He ends up getting that bottom fight a little bit late.
Yes. All the ripple effects that just tip over.
But it's still like Fnatic are the ones pressuring Navi. Like they're always on the side of Navi. No objective opportunity.
And on top of that, if you look at it like Navi, they cannot touch this Tinker. That's a giant problem for them. We've talked about it though, it's like if you catch Tinker once, game feels amazing. But getting to him is going to be the problem right now for Navi. They are letting Abed get to this very fast Ags. Like once he gets to the Ags uninterrupted like this, as a Tinker player, a hero I've played like 4 times in my life, but I've seen
I was about to say Tinker player.
a billion times.
I thought maybe you were just theoretically hypothesizing for some other person.
Cool. The legacy keys isn't really what does it. At bottom, Indy just gets really aggressive here. But
They just towers, even with the Dragonite and his supposed like poke at towers, like that damage over time is supposed to be so good in these scenarios, but Fnatic are just refusing to let him get on top.
it's because they don't want to lose control of that bottom trunk. Abed already takes so much of the farm,
Yeah.
and Fnatic players are pretty greedy. It's the one knock on them, right? Is that they all kind of want to have individually good games. So if you're in that kind of position, you need as much space as possible. And to their credit, they've done a very good job keeping the bottom tower open.
The only person on Fnatic that is more of that sacrificial style is even DJ is a bit greedy on that support role, right?
All 4 position players are greedy.
So all the 1 through 4, all greedy. But Fnatic have managed to make it work so far. Dialed down and Islandized a lot of space creation. Look at his positioning right here, stopping the smoke rotation. He knew that was coming for DJ.
Walks close to the missile too.
Now, are they actually going to fight this one? They're bringing the Dragonite as well as the Death Prophet from Navi. They know this is going to be a full-out fight. They may have caught LeBron, but it looks like with a counter sleep coming out from Lil, he's going to kill the wards, and they're going to get on top of both these heroes with a nice double silence, see if they can catch DJ as well. He's going for a TP out, so that's not going to happen. But they do see the Tinker. If they can actually keep the damage on him, he won't be able to blink himself out. He keeps on rearming, going for the blink, but not able to do it. The Tinker Ward actually baits Fnatic into a nasty team fight there, and at the same time, it looks like Dendy is finally going to take that safe lane tower.
Yeah, that death is so huge. He was the highest net worth in the game. That is always the downside of Tinker, is that eventually people are dedicated to killing you.
Yeah.
You are the mosquito of Dota 2.
Everybody hates it.
Yeah, Bill Gates is figuring out ways to wipe your ass out.
That is currently the net worth, all going into the research side of Navi. They also have a lineup that is entirely dependent only on the Tinker, right? Because they have a Viper that's not really the scale for them. High sets up late game situation. So
That was the run up to the Ags too that we were talking about.
yeah.
This time period where you just don't get it feels pretty bad as a Tinker.
Meanwhile, Navi, they've got 3 cores that all going to scale in their own way, right? Damage dealers.
The downside is like they're setting up fights is a little bit awkward. It works both ways. The BKB idea, and DJ now has an Ags himself.
Do you think that's why it was so important for Dendy to get earlier blink, to
Yes.
be the initiator? That is kind of.
They need catch like desperately.
Do you think General gets one of those blinks as well? We've seen a couple Death Prophets.
Yes, he will eventually.
Crystallize. Oh, that's not going to be catch there with a Static Storm. Universe is in a good position to be able to lay down a Ravage, but he was silenced up and it didn't get the cleanse in time. Finally, Ensnare comes out on General. They're going to keep on trying to poke some damage at him, but not really fully committing.
They really don't want to do this under the tower. When Lil's on the high ground, that's the problem. Is if you blink in Ravage,
Animation, I think, from Smash that's slow and cover your tracks very well.
from that angle, when he's on the high ground, you can't overcommit with that item. Like, it probably hits Lil, but he doesn't care at that point because he's still in Ravage.
And
Getting
he's
this
got a
Roshan
blink.
is really nice.
Oh, and he's still got the sleep as well. So if they know Roshan's happening, and they actually have a really good way to
Did they directly scan into Roche Pit? They did.
And did this scan. Nobody came out. Big pickup.
NV teams and sneaking Roche. Name a more classic duo. Somebody was telling me, like, if you've ever played on a team with Envy, it'll never get you. Like, shame on you. These Navi boys.
Yeah, none of them have played with Envy.
They're not used to it.
Funny how that certain players just certain strategic things that they.
It goes all the way back to like the Alliance TIA,
Yeah.
or when he was on Node Tidehunter. I should. This obsession.
Well, it's a good time to be a Roche obsessed. Roshan is arguably more important than it's been in many of the patches of Dota.
Even more important for Fnatic. They have Tidehunter and Shaman. It's a good problem to have though, where you have to decide which one. If you aren't winning fights and you feel like you have to go for the split, then you can give the refresher shard to Shaman. But you want to refresh it as fast as possible, so going for the Roshan around the 20-minute mark means that ideally around the 40-minute mark, when you want to be in a position where you can actually end the game, you do have the refresher shard option available. Because the one thing is how you force teams to leave their base in fights, if you want to go that route, is to go for Roshan once you've taken all the tier 1 and tier 2 towers.
So Envy's right now pushing in mid with Indy, and they've got the top lane, so they kind of figured out there was going to be a trap here in the bottom. So Abed, instead of coming back to the creeps, went to the shrine.
Yes, very smart.
While he had two-man smoke coming out from EJ, who just rooted through that jungle.
It all comes back, like you said, to you can play this like process of elimination game because you know, okay, well nobody's countering Abed up at top. They won't touch Envy because he's a Viper with an Aegis. If they happen to be smoked behind him, that'd be so obnoxious to deal with.
It is pretty absurd that LeBron has probably been sitting here for, hey, maybe he's going to sit here for like 2 minutes. And it's worth it for him to sit here for 2 minutes if it means he catches the team. It's not going to happen with Creep spotting him out.
They snitched on him. Oh, they got him!
They really did with the telekinesis toss back into the gyrocopter. Bonk!
That was a very...
That was not what I expected.
He was completely in vision. He just got lifted and killed.
I mean, he had to have known about the blink dagger on Lil. That's been up for a very long time.
That was such a... Okay, the shrine move was so cool by Abed.
Yeah.
Then he makes a little bit of a slap.
Look at him, he's blink rearming. He gets the telekinesis. His team is still so far away, and now he's completely out of mana. But they got the glimpse back, so it actually ends up working until the Song of Siren holds them all in place.
Okay, they are all stacked up.
He still has Homing Missile as well as Spirit Siphon, as well as the Thunder Strike on him. They're still going to be able to run him down. Zap.
TJ just gave up on life. He's like, thank you for the sleep. I'll remember that. Really appreciate it.
Folks, burning through that mana. 300 mana rearm on a hero that has 1,000 mana.
Not worth you.
Yeah.
You're not Tinker. You don't get the perma lift. Hurry, cue the Bloodstone. The optimism.
No, break it
really
apart and get the
matters.
Ether Lens.
See? He's very far forward right now.
Well, I guess he's got BKB.
Yes. You don't want to pop it here though, not like this. And Envy had a cute trap set up for him.
Not the Centaur. No. Oh, that's another classic. Envy accidentally all chatting Roche timing. That's how you know he is focused on Roche.
He doesn't care. Everybody's got it timed out at this point.
Yeah.
I'll check back on Reddit and China will have already made a meme about this if Envy loses this game.
Agent 20.
Smart money.
He's gone to the other side.
You gotta keep them on their toes.
He's a double agent now. Southeast Asia. No longer China's agent.
There's a BKB now, already mentioned on both cores. We talked about how good BKB was going to be. Fnatic's lineup. Entirely magic damage. Aside from the Shaman wards. Dendi, you gotta drop him fast. Really need a good Ravage. Ideally, you catch Lil in it as well, who still has rearm, and the Aegis fades.
Yeah, smoke up from Fnatic. Still looking to be able to force him start of the game.
It's not the worst timing though.
So to be perfectly clear, is Navi, are they fine with it? Are they fine with just chilling out, farming away, and like not being able to control most of the map?
Sorta.
Sorta.
Because at the end of the downside about playing against Tinker, I don't know if any hero inspires like more hate to play against a hero, is that you always feel like you're pressured to kill this Tinker at all times. Nobody ever feels good about playing against Tinker, because you're thinking in your head at all times like, this guy gets 6 slotted, he's going to be such a nuisance. Doesn't matter how much farm you have, what BKBs you have, if you build a Linken's or anything like that. The only thing that really deals with him when it comes to that phase of the game is Neon. But you don't want to go back to that as a player. Most likely this Death Prophet does at some point, I'd imagine. But the rest of them, like, they want to continue to build into damage.
Alright, we're gonna just throw down Serpent Wards on high ground, see what happens. It's a dangerous. Pushing in a high ground though against a Disruptor. Very likely that you can get picked off when you try.
That's why you have sleep, right? None of the core should be worried. Because they can always just sleep and you'll TP out.
Oh, you know what this Ether Lens? I think his spell steal is long. Yeah, it is. It's longer than the Song of Siren.
That means the vision game is going to be very important for Navi.
That was another thing with the nerf build up on the Song Disruptor. It used to be you.
Pi is nowhere near the amount of items that he'd like at this point. No Meteor Hammer on him or anything like that. But it does mean that DJ's very farmed.
Yeah, he's a big boy with the Aghanim Scepter. Let's go Refresher Shard neck.
I don't know. There's some people that really like the Aether Lens Shaman. You get the talent. So you just perma shackle.
But at the same time, like, he's playing with a Tinker. Tinker side lanes are always pushed in, which means you always have an up lay down turbo.
Yeah, but I think it'd be kind of funny for him to perma lock somebody. That feels really nice
To
as a
do
shaman.
it for the meme. Dude, look what's happening right now. Double Siege Wagon. They just lost 600 damage to their tier 3 tower. Alright, Navi gotta be way more careful.
They cannot allow damage on their tier 3s against a shaman. That's the position that Navi's in right now, is that they can still win fights because of their double BKB. But if they lose a single fight, the game is... they're gonna get raxed.
They are very
fast.
close to a huge power spike though. Dendi is about to pick up his end.
Yeah.
With BKB, he can just go off. Nice catch here in the mid lane. They're going to be able to burst down Pylite Die, that long duration silence from the Death Prophet. Hold on. But here.
Gotta catch him once or twice.
Well, it's been a long time since Navi were on the offensive here with just wave shove instead of like a smoke into the tier 1 offlane power like they did earlier. Here they just shove down mid. Their Dragonite.
That's the other downside about playing it that a lot of people don't realize. You have to buy smokes all the time to make moves around the map. But by getting that pick, they were able to transition this. They do get that tier 2 tower.
Got the blink tag on the Death Prophet, but he doesn't.
Be Wake on at this point. Now they have to deal with the bottom.
Do you think Aghanims was built for the Viper in this game? I thought maybe he would go more buff up there.
He's pretty... I mean, he's got okay farm, actually. Pull down for those. Rain. Could force some early BKBs as well, that'd be nice.
Well,
go for the next rush.
Agent 2358. It is 34 minutes in. Last Roshan. She's available to take.
This is when you have Tinker on your side, is that these Roshans feel very easy. The lanes are almost always shoved in, so whenever you see multiple heroes of Navi on the board, Fnatic just walk in there, take it.
Sad part is they hero, but that's the thing, right? Tinker great in enabling others to take Roshan, but doesn't really
He doesn't
do
want
anything with any of it.
Awkward hero to have it. Because he's very slot dependent. It's so weird when you play Tinker. You're so fragile, so he would be, in some respects, the perfect Negus. Deals a lot of damage, requires play very aggressively forward, but dude, just item slot. It's very difficult. Effectively,
You see Lil gonna go for Shadow Blade? Alright, that's a Tinker Hunter.
he sort of respects that the rest of his lineup hopefully can be able to deal with Envy, so he's trying to go deal with the one core that he feels like he absolutely needs to.
If get to that. Oh, maybe they just double blink onto Nagasai. But here comes a Ravage. Universe sets it and hits 4, but DJ already following that up with the Shackles. Lil's dead. Next, they're going to focus on the Death Prophet, who has the Exorcism amount, so they say, forget it. Let's get out of here, boys. They throw down that song.
There's a
and
gem on the
reset
ground.
this fight.
Pi just swoops in, takes the gem, and then leaves.
All right, cool. That sounds like a huge win to me. Oh, DJ actually just found another one. He's going to be able to blink forward, grabs LeBron. Now they're turning around, though. Here comes Dendy. Double silence. Going to be able to throw the stun onto the Shadow Shaman, burst him down. Next up, Universe with the Exorcism still out. They still have plenty of physical damage. They're going to be able to get Pylai Die as well. Please don't tell me Abed's going to be caught by this. He's laying down some premium damage right now with those lasers. But the BKB finally wears out from Dendy. He's in trouble. Double gems on the ground. But unfortunately, Navi, they could not actually get it. Blink away from the Viper Strike just in time for the Death Prophet. So they turn, they do win that fight, but they don't actually get the gems out of the situation. So it's still a bit of a loss for them.
Yeah, the gems are the big pickups.
Yeah.
That'll just swing the net worth that they gain the other way. Okay, they just got both of them. Chill, chill, chill.
36. Actually, no, it's just...
That was a little bit too much from Fnatic. They get a nice pickup. Okay, BKBs are down. Let's just march forward. And Dendy came in from the side. They had no idea. They had used everything at that point. We're gonna watch this again. The double blink forward.
That beautiful.
Very
Beautiful
Ravage.
Ravage. You get a good Ravage like that, Abed is just free to play pretty far forward and just get repeated Dagon hits. If only they had just walked away.
Yeah, at this point, you walk away. BKB was used on Gyro. Everything's cool.
Like your parents teach you. Be the bigger man. Walk away from the fight. Fnatic out with that here. They may actually find a good fight though. Ooh, quick lane. He does have the backup of the rest of his team. 20 seconds till Exorcism is back up. They actually managed to catch Pylai Die here, put him in the static storm, burst him. While there's still silence, they get him. Lil died to that Tinker at the same time, so it's a 4-on-4. Comes forward, he's got 12 seconds until the Ravage. They managed to grab him, they managed to get the carry. Gyrocopter's locked down by DJ. What a catch by him with a blink forward. That may win them the fight. Tinker managed to TP out just barely ahead of a stun. Dendy now has to TP out himself, but he's going to be stunned up by DJ. DJ catches more! He actually blink forward and stopped General from TPing out as well. He managed to make sure that nobody from Navi is going to escape from this. It's going to be total 5-man wipe. Unless he managed a quick blink. Ooh.
He does.
General. He's got to evade the Tinker.
I think he's okay. They drew around him, but still, DJ crushed that fight. He gets right on top of Crystallize. Crystallize just got crushed by those wards. Like, those wards, they were all surrounding him. He died in like 2 seconds. Even at that point, if he pops BKB, he's dead at that. And Navi really need their gyrocopter to be in these fights. He's the second highest net worth on their team, third overall in the game. You just took out nearly 20,000 net worth from a 10k net worth hero.
Now that's going to be a lane of racks up against a Tinker, where you already feeling pressured in your side lanes, and against a Shadow Shaman who's going to exploit those side lane pushes. Navi is going to be real bad about the state of the game right now.
They needed to protect Crystallize. The fact that they were that split up just means that something went on.
All right, we're just going to jump in here. General immediately gets stunned up. Pilot Die is going to throw down that song and TP out himself. So smart play here from Fnatic in the disengage to make the same.
Fnatic look very good right now, but at the same time, it does feel as though Navi is even a little bit sloppy. That engage was so awkward for them. If you're not able to back up your own cores, that means positionally you're just not ready to fight. Like, the difference is in the Mineski game, if you're watching that, Mineski, it always felt like they were willing to back up each other at all times. Like, even their supports, their 5 position, they were swapping to save in and stuff like that. You did not feel the same thing right there about Navi. Because it's not as though DJ's got BKB and he can shackle forever. That was not the case at all. He got a free initiation, they blew up Crystalline over the full duration of those shackles. That means he had, what, like 5 seconds to do whatever he wanted to a gyrocopter? It's absurd.
So, you think it's the Navi just aren't playing? Yeah. Like, for whatever reason, Crystallize is separated from his own.
And now they're in a position where this Tinker is so farmed. He's got Dagon 5 Hex, by the way.
Yeah, Crystallize is coming in from the side here. They're going to go ahead for the initiation. They managed to smoke around with a beautiful static storm. They've locked in the Tidehunter. They're going to try and blow up this Tinker as quick as possible, and they should be able to do it too. With Crystallize and Denny both popping their BKBs, the Viper is nothing to them. They get 2 of the cores so far, but Universe did manage to escape, so they're going to try and chase him down, but he is a blink too far, unless Lil, he catches him. Just keep damage on him, and don't let him TP. Oh, jeez.
LeBron Dota!
That was a sick smoke around.
Navi, go you, honestly. That was cool. And LeBron got the static storms of static storms.
He catches the Tinker and the Tidehunter.
Very well done.
Everything's done. But, they may win that big fight, but there's a huge difference. They're on their side of the map with all their lanes pushed in. They can't immediately take an objective like Fnatic did.
Still okay. It's like, still evenish game. It's weird. Fnatic did not have to take that engagement whatsoever. Look at that. They're all stacked up for this. Everyone just pops BKB. They're like, there's no way we can afford to lose this fight. The break was applied to Envy. Dies very quickly. Grab Universe. The sleep is now popped in mid lane. BP though, gonna pop his ult, run forward. They might just catch Pi here for free. He is gonna go down.
Laser stops some of the damage, but not enough, especially with the exorcism out. Now here comes the TP from Eternal Envy with damage already on some of the members of Navi, especially General. Half HP, they'll back out.
What in the world is going on? Fnatic should have really not gotten caught by that 3-man static storm. This has now complicated the game, and all of a sudden 43 minutes in, Navi, who lost fight after fight, got racks up at top and at bottom. So they did actually end up losing the range racks up at top, are now ahead in gold. The team fights with all of these BKBs feel all of a sudden very hard for Fnatic to take. Their Viper doesn't feel as though he's pumping out any sort of damage. Like, he's 5-5-5, but you haven't really felt it. It feels as though Opbet has to do the majority of the lifting here. As
pressure chart.
Yeah, they just walk in, they're gonna get the 3rd Roshan.
They just know that Navi can't stop.
Yes, absolutely no one.
X is...
Okay, here's where things get interesting now. DJ has the option of dropping... I don't think he has the mana for it, but he can do the double ward, wait half a beat, do a ward again, and Navi don't kill those wards very quickly. Not at all. Like,
especially
it takes 3 hits.
He's already a level 23, so he's got the +1 circle for
And at some point, he's going to hit 25 very soon, hit the plus 60 wards attack damage, and he's just going to rat them.
And that's like a throne combination. You literally take tier 4s.
The mid tower is only at 600 health. The good news for Navi is that they have Gyrocopter, who is one of the best at dealing with mega creeps, and he's already got the Satanic completed himself. He's prepared for this game.
So you think that's actually the situation where this is going to go to? It's almost inevitable that Fnatic, if they pace a game, they are going to take those mega creeps, but at the same time, Navi's cores are all going to scale well enough that they can still combat it.
That's where the interesting part comes from, right? It's because Navi can't allow Fnatic into their base whatsoever. And they can't get into these prolonged fights where DJ's not there. Because as soon as they take a fight and DJ's not there, they have to be thinking like, we're just going to get... So he's just hiding in the trees, waiting for the creep wave to come in. So what Navi have to do is take a risk and push out these waves very aggressively as a result.
And also get boots to travels, which we're seeing every single core pick that up.
Dendy just has to stand on top of this high ground.
He's gonna break the... oh no, he got off the BKB. They didn't get the stun out fast enough. The Song of Siren goes down, but the BKB is cast on both of the cores. They can still get the damage somewhere, and they manage to find DJ. They're actually slept up, but they still manage to get this damage out as the song fades. Ravage goes down, manage to catch all 5 in the bouncing laser. This is not good for Navi. Dragon Knight tries to charge back into this one, but Abed in the back line still has plenty of mana. Won't be able to burst down the Gyrocopter, and they're just gonna control up Dendy as best as possible. He goes invis, tries to bounce back from this fight. He still the ages. Here comes a refresher. He actually stopped DJ though. Midway through, ward drops. He still managed to get a lot down though. The Gyrocopter's having a tough time being able to deal with that one. Mass buybacks. Viper is finally going to be losing its ages here, but they do not have the Dragon form.
Double kill from the wards.
Somebody's got to deal with the rest of these wards. Looks like they will not lose their tier 4 out of this. So this was not the big objective win that Fnatic were hoping for, but they did force a lot of buybacks there.
And the refresher orb was used, but not the refresher shard. So not as big of a win as you'd hope for if you're Navi. A lot of buybacks were expended there, though. That was the try to save the game moment.
That felt like one of those situations where something just kind of popped up to you and you just went for it. The Dragon Knight, all of a sudden Viper's right on top. Like, oh, I'll just take this. But the reality is they can't really go for the Viper, right? He's got to get that back line.
Such an unideal target. Envy was very fast too on that trigger with his BKB.
Yeah.
Then once the song engages, everyone's BKB'd, but Navi is in a position where like, well, what do we actually do? We don't have enough lockdown for this.
Well, I love the fact that Navi backing down to Orbit. They're still aggressive. They're hoping to be able to catch up Abed, and they caught him. With his Static Storm, oh, what a great force tap. Can they actually keep Abed alive here? He's going to be glimpsed back into the Static Storm a little bit more. Denny's going to pop his Dragon Force to make sure he dies. So it's probably going to cost Denny his life here, but maybe they can still going to fight off this one. Abed Tinker already bought back, though. They're going to go for the Song of Siren, see if they can catch General. They already have the Dragon Knight down for 2 minutes. If they get General as well, that's going to be the end of the game right there. They manage to catch him, turns him into a piggy. The control from Abed is constantly going to be there, so General is going to die. That's going to be 2 heroes down for a minute and a half. I can't possibly see how Navi are going to be able to hold against the 5-man of Fnatic, but they have to find a way now.
They still got the double wards as a result of this refresher shard. I think DJ, they're just going to walk it down. It's really hard to stop this now on the side of Navi without any buybacks.
Ravage just straight up on the Gyrocopter. He does have the Glimmer Cape, trying to buy him some time there. They have the vision. Gonna pop his BKB now. Turns. But those targets are not ideal here.
Oh, DJ just runs forward.
Yeah, he's going to double drop the wards now. Those tier 4s are going to drop so quickly. Abed just full on at the front face of both of those supports. Takes him down and forces Navi into the GG call.
Radiant victory!
It's a really odd game. It doesn't even feel like Fnatic were like super happy about that.
Yeah, there was definitely some serious slip-ups by them. Same can be said of Navi, of course.